Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Today is Lag BaOmer. It's the 33rd day of the Omer. It's a day of passing of Rabbi, the great sage, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. He's the author of the Zohar. And on the day of his passing, all his students gathered around his bed, and he started to reveal to them secrets of the Torah that he was never allowed to reveal. And he was given permission from above to reveal it. So to him, it was a great day of celebration because he was able to take those levels of Torah and to reveal it, to bring it down into this world. He asked that after his passing, he knew he was going to pass away that day, and he asked that after his passing, this day should be commemorated as a celebration to celebrate the revelation of the Torah that was given, that he was able to share with everybody that day. It says also brought down that he was a nitzutz, he was a reincarnation in a sense of Moses, of Moshe Rabbeinu. And just like it says, when Moshe Rabbeinu came back down from the mountain, lo yada ki karan ar panav, he did not know that his face was glowing. So Rishon Yochai, his face was also glowing. It's brought down in the Zohar, those that recorded the actual story of what happened at that time, that in addition to the fact that outside the house there was a fire around the house when he was talking, his face was glowing to the point that they weren't able to look at him. They weren't able to look at him. That's how powerful it was. The difference between him and Moshe Rabbeinu was, when Moshe says, "V'lo yada," he didn't know his face was glowing. But Rishon Yochai, he knew his face is glowing. Not to make that one is greater than the other. It says Moshe Rabbeinu was the greatest person alive. However, there was some special connection that the Rishon Yochai had that, in a sense, he was even in touch with it. So that's the idea of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Now, in general, it's brought down that a person, on the day of his passing, all his accomplishments that he accomplished throughout his life comes together. So you have one person, the example that's used for this is a minion. You have one person that has his capabilities. You have two people, you bring it together. You have 10 people, you have whatever it is. You take the value of each person, you calculate, you have 10, so you have 10 things that come together. But when it's explained, when it comes to a minion, you don't just have the 10 people together. The second you hit the number 10, it's like infinite. It's infinity. There's a level that's beyond just what the 10 people can carry. So too, when it comes to a person's life, when all the days come together, whatever you accomplish throughout your life, that's one thing. But the fact that it's also the day that the person is passing and everything comes together, it jumps even to a greater level. So that's what happens when on a day that a person passes away, and it represents itself every year when the anniversary of the person's passing comes on the calendar. So it's reoccurring. So today's day is not just a day of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, it's in a sense the same value of what was going on when Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was saying the Torah by his bed. So if we connect to this day, we connect to that holy power, we connect to that holiness, we connect to that blessing of the day. So it's brought down. How do we connect to it? What do we do? So in addition to trying to learn something from the Zohar or to learn from his ways, the idea of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, what he represented was, he said, Bei Achida, Bei Lehita, that he is one. He came to the level to connect with God as one entity on that day. He didn't see himself as a separate entity. He saw himself as part of God. So we in our lives, by learning Torah, we make that connection. But also by everything we do in our lives, we have to try to make that connection with God. Whether it's in business, whether you're eating, even when you're eating, you're making a blessing, you're saying, Baruch Atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam. For example, Shahakol Niyah B'dvar, that everything comes from Hashem, everything comes from His words. So every time we're doing something, we're identifying with the creator of the universe, that it's all about Hashem. So when we do that, we're going in the ways of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, we're connecting with him, it's like we're following his directives, and he davens for everybody. It says, Kedai Rabbi Shimon, it is worthwhile for Rabbi Shimon to be soymech, to rely on him, that he will take care of us. So Hashem should bless us all. We should have all the blessings we need. And the schus, the merit of Rabbi Shimon should be for us, for our whole family, for the whole Klal Yisrael. And we should be zeicha to the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu b'meher v'ymeinu v'noymer. Amen.